This video is to show you how to manage your users' caseloads at your school site using the Caseload Administration Wizard feature. The goals of this video are for you to understand who has access to this feature, how to add students to a teacher's caseload or account, how to assign the teacher to the role of case manager versus team member, how to copy a teacher's caseload onto another teacher's, or how to transfer an entire caseload. And then there's a little bonus piece of information at the end. Users with Caseload Administration Wizard access are system principal, facilitators, dean of students, and counselors. So please know that if you are the lead or PEP administrator for your school site, that these other users have the ability to support you in this effort automatically by virtue of their job title. So let's take a look at how to use the Caseload Administration Wizard. First, I'm going to show you how to add students to a teacher's caseload and how to assign the teacher or user to the role of case manager versus team member. Just one point I want you to remember before I do so. Long-term subs cannot serve as case managers. So when you get a long-term sub account, please remember that someone else at the school has to serve as the case manager for that substitute's students. From the main menu navigation bar, I'm going to click the Wizards tab, and then I'm going to select Caseload Administration Wizard. I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the screen and type in the last name of the user or teacher who needs students added to his or her account. And I click View Users. The system's going to show me all the users at my school whose last name begins with T-E-S-T. I find Alessandra's name and I click Alessandra Test. I want to add more students to her caseload, so I click that button, and a student search engine appears. This allows me to limit my search. I can either type in the student's ID number and get the exact student. I can type in the last name of the student or the first initial of the student, and I would see all the students whose name begins with that letter. Or in this case, I want to see all the 7th grade students at my school. From the drop-down menu, I select 7th. And then I simply click View Students. I'm never going to need to click the check boxes here at this time. So I click View Students, and the system shows me all the 7th grade students at the school. Please note, if more than 400 students would have resulted in the search, the system would not show it to you. Whatever you choose, it has to result in 400 or less students. You would have to narrow your search. In this case, I'm simply going to add Alessandra Test to each of these students' portfolios as a team member by selecting Check All. Note, I'm not saying that all of these students need PEPs, nor is Ms. Tess. Instead, she simply has access to their portfolios in case they may need one now or in the future, and this allows her to discuss those students with her colleagues at any point in time in the school year. If, however, I wanted to assign her as a case manager for, let's say, Lexi, I simply would select the checkbox under PEP chairperson. If you note, it cleared her from team member and made her the chairperson. I'm going to stick with making her the team member for all the students. I scroll down to the bottom, and I click Add Students to Caseload if I'm finished, or Add Students to Caseload, then find more if I wanted to continue adding other students. In this case, I'm finished. Now the system shows me the current caseload for Alessandra Test, and all of those students have been added. Okay, now let's look at how the Caseload Administration Wizard can help us copy a teacher's caseload or transfer a teacher's caseload entirely to another teacher's. In this next example, I'm going to copy Alessandra's test caseload onto Christina Zanton's. We can see here that Christina has no students on her caseload. So I'm going to select a user, and I'm going to type in Alessandra's last name to pull up her caseload first. I type in test, and then click View User. I click Alessandra Test, and I can see that she has 136 students where she serves as the team member. And I'm going to go to the bottom of the screen and select Transfer or Copy Caseload to another user. The system loads Alessandra's caseload in preparation for a transfer or copy. I scroll to the bottom of the screen. One thing I want to note before we do this copy, the system will only copy those students' portfolios where Alessandra does not serve as the PEP chairperson. So it's only going to copy onto another user's account those students where Alessandra does not serve as the PEP chairperson. So I want to copy Alessandra Test's caseload, and I want to copy it to Christina Zanton's. So I click on this drop down and I find her name. This list is all of the users that are associated with the current school, which is Test School. I find Christina Zanton's name and I click on it, and then I select Review Students and Continue, and this is where the system will copy Alessandra's caseload onto Christina Zanton's account. When it's finished, it will return to Alessandra's Test's current caseload view. If we scroll down to the bottom and click Select a User, we can check to see if the caseload was transferred. I'm going to type in Christina's last name. I'm going to click View User, and I can see now that Christina has the 136 students on her caseload. Now, note, I'm going to be transferring PEP Jolena Zanton's caseload to Christina Zanton's caseload. And in this case, I've cleared her caseload, so we see she has 0. And when we're done, we should see that she has 2 that she case manages and 3 where she serves as the team member. So I'm going to open up PEP Jolena Zanton, and I'm going to select Transfer or Copy Caseload to another user. Again, I'm going to go to the bottom of the screen, but this time I'm going to select Transfer. When I do so, I will be clearing all of these students off of PEP Jolena Zanton's team, and I will be transferring them to another teacher or user. So again, I select from my school someone who has an account in the EdPlan system. I select Christina Zanton, and I click Review Students and Account, and Continue. This time the system lets me know that there are no longer any students on PEP Jolena Zanton's account. If I click Select a User and I type in Zanton, I can see that Christina now has 2 students where she case manages and 3 where she serves only as a team member. Finally, some bonus information. If you wanted to view all the users at your school, you're able to do so using the Caseload Administration Wizard. You could see all the EdPlan General Education teachers associated with your school, Dean of Students who also serve as an LEA, counselors, facilitators, and facilitators who serve as an LEA. Let me show you how. In this example, I'm pretending to be the PEP administrator at Selwyn Elementary School, and I want to see all the users in EdPlan that have a EdPlan General Education teacher user account in this system and are associated with my school. I click on Wizards, click Caseload Administration Wizard, and towards the top of the second column, I find the label Ed Plan General Education Teacher and I click in the checkbox next to it. I scroll down to the bottom and I click View Users. And the system shows me all of the Ed Plan General Education Teacher user types associated with my school, as well as how many students they have on their caseload. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please send them to easypep@cms.k12.nc.us, or you may post them on our PEP Administrator portal. There's also a how-to document on the Documents page of the PEP Administrator portal with screenshots and step-by-step instructions on how to use the Caseload Administration Wizard.